Last Wednesday in the city of Stuttgart, a man slaughtered his former roommate with a sword. 130 children were looking at it, and a number of adult witnesses as well, some of whom were recording what was going on. The man, somewhat between 28 and 30, said that he came from Syria and fled from the war. That was his official line to the authorities. However, he is actually from Jordan and is a Palestinian. Before the murder, he had contact with people in the Middle East, and according to the Stuttgarter Zeitung and the Stuttgarter Nachrichten, both newspapers, local regional newspapers, these people knew in advance that he was going to kill this roommate. They did not stop him. It rather seems that they encouraged him in his ambitions. Even though this story was reported in the Associated Press and is published in the Washington Post and also in the New York Times, the German public broadcasting agency Deutschlandfunk has published a statement claiming that the murder was just of regional importance and that they will not talk about it. Nonetheless, video footage and photos of the cruelty are circulating on the internet, and so the minister of the Department of Justice in the state of Baden-Württemberg, where Stuttgart is situated, Mr. Guido Wolf, criticizes the proliferation of the footage and demands that people should be legally sued for it. And even though the current law does not really allow this, the Federal Department of Justice has announced that it will do something that in future cases, a proliferation of the footage of dead people or the murder of people will be stopped by law. And this is also enshrined by the so-called coalition treaty, that is the agenda that is being put forward by the given government at a given time. So it is already planned. We can be sure that at some point censorship will stop us from seeing the results of failed left-wing policies. However, we will continue to see corpses of women and children and other folks in the news because A, our news agencies have so good lawyers, they are basically beyond the law, and B, the left does not play by the rules anyway. So you can expect your propaganda photos to continue to stream in. However, your average citizen that also wants to talk about the murder in his neighborhood and the people disappearing from his life, because maybe they speak up, like in George Orwell's 1984, that they will be punished for saying things and to show footage of what is going on. The Justice Department of the state of Baden-Württemberg, which is again the state where Stuttgart is situated, has announced on Twitter that the current legislation would be already enough to punish those who dare to show corpses or violent imagery on the internet. Of course, that is not the case. They are quoting 131 STGB penal code, and what it says is, yes, of course, you cannot just throw around pictures of some corpses just to incite some strange sexual pleasures or for other creepy reasons. But of course, you still, I mean, the section 2 of paragraph 131 STGB penal code of this law includes that you are allowed, of course, to speak about current affairs and about history. And once they would shut that down, you could not even talk about the Holocaust anymore. You have no weapons left against neo-Nazis if you cannot show the heaps of corpses back then. That was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.